What does the number 52 mean to you? Probably not much at first glance, but if you're a Warriors fan or someone in the front office, that number should carry a whole lot of weight, because that's the draft spot where Golden State quietly stole Quinton Post. And here's the kicker. It wasn't even their original pick. Just some cash and a trade partner, and the Warriors walked away with a 7-foot sharpshooter. Yes, sharpshooter, not just size. If you don't know who Quinton Post is yet, you're about to. He may be 7 feet tall, but he's already making a case as the best shooter on the roster, not named Stephen Curry or Buddy Hield. And honestly, if we're going by this season alone, it might just be Stephen Post at the top. The numbers don't lie. Since Post started getting steady minutes over the last 18 games, he's putting up 12 points, 4.5 rebounds, and nearly 2 assists per game. All in just 18 minutes of action. Oh, and he's hitting 45% from 3. That's not just good for a rookie big man. That's elite shooting, period. Post is also one of only 2 second-round or undrafted rookies who rank top 12 in scoring among all first-year players. The other? Jalen Wells, who's been rightfully called the steal of the draft. But it's time Quinton Post got some of that love too. And what makes him so dangerous isn't just the numbers. It's the little things. The way he moves off. The ball, his quick release, his understanding of spacing. In today's NBA, that's the stuff that separates a shooter from a real weapon. A lot of bigs, in theory, can shoot. They'll set a screen, pop out to the arc, set their feet, and, if the defense gives them time, knock one down. And yes, that's still part of Quinton Post's game, especially when he's sharing the floor with Steph Curry, who demands gravity unlike anyone else. But what sets Post apart? It's the versatility of his shot. He can spot up in the corner, he can hit threes in transition, he can even drill no-dip threes. Yes, you heard that right. A no-dip three. For anyone who's not deep in basketball lingo, that means he catches the ball and fires it without bringing it down. One fluid motion. That's incredibly rare for any player, let alone a 7-footer. Take this play, for example. 2 defenders blitz Steph off a Draymond handoff. Draymond drives, kicks it out to Post in the corner. Post catches it low, brings it up from below his knees, and nails the 3. That catch-and-shoot sequence, that's elite-level touch and control. These aren't just minor details, they're why Post is hitting threes at a wild clip while other bigs barely crack league average. He's not just tall with a jumper, he's got shooting instincts. And then there's the transition play. Draymond pushes the ball up, PJ Washington sags off Post to cut off the drive. Dre dishes it out, and Post, without hesitation, steps into the 3 and buries it in stride. This guy's not just a shooter, he's a natural. And for a team like the Warriors, built on spacing, quick decisions, and unselfish movement, Post might be the perfect fit. Before we dive any deeper into Quinton Post's rise, I've got to share something personal with you all. I had the incredible opportunity to collaborate twice with the Golden State Warriors on official content. The most recent video was all about the engine of this team, the defensive juggernaut, the emotional leader, Mr. Draymond Green. If you've enjoyed any of my content over the years, it would mean the world if you checked it out. The links in the description. A like, a comment. Anything at all helps. I'm already grateful beyond words, but your support would make it that much more special. Big shout out to the Warriors for the opportunity. Now, back to Quinton Post. While he's been impressive all season long, showing up in key moments and helping spark turnarounds, yes, even with Jimmy Butler joining the crew, one game truly showcased his impact. That game? Against Orlando. Yeah, the same game where Steph Curry dropped 56 points. And still, the Warriors don't win that game without Post. Golden State started the game with Kevin Looney at center, but heading into the second half down by 14, Steve Kerr made a key adjustment. He inserted Quinton Post into the starting 5. From that moment on, it turned into the Steph and Post show. Now, that might sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. Post played more minutes than any Warrior in the second half. He dropped 16 points, grabbed 5 boards, and did it all on just 8 shots. He wasn't just spacing the floor, he was punishing the Magic every time they rotated off him. He was slipping into soft spots, hitting tough shots, setting rock-solid screens, and reading the game like a seasoned vet. When your second half X factor isn't Clay, isn't Draymond, isn't Wiggins, but a rookie picked 52nd, that's not just depth, that's a steal. Shooting 8 shots and finishing with a staggering +126 in plus-minus. And it wasn't just empty stats. These were momentum-shifting plays. It started with a wing three off a pass from Podziemski. With Wendell Carter Jr. camped in the paint, Post was left wide open, and you already know that's a mistake. Splash. Next. Play, more Podziemski magic. This time Post gets Karl Anthony on a switch, seals him off in the post, and makes a smooth turn for an easy finish at the rim. Now he's rolling, then comes the Jimmy Butler connection. Butler draws the defense, finds Post inside, and boom, another bucket. That confidence is building, but here's where things really shift. Transition offense. Podziemski pushes the break and Post, yes, the 7-footer, trails the play casually. Pulls up from the wing and drills it. And this is what sets him apart. Teams don't expect a guy his size to walk into transition threes like he's Klay Thompson. They're used to screens, pops, slow releases. But Quinton? He's flipping the script. By the time he knocked down that shot, the Magic's 14-point lead had already been cut to 6, and Post was a huge reason why. And he wasn't done. He followed that with another mid-range jumper, then capped off his night with a powerful dunk in the fourth, capping a performance that wasn't just impressive, it was impactful. On both ends of the floor, Post showed up. Big, using his size defensively, stretching the floor offensively, and playing with the kind of poise that makes you double-check the box score and wonder, wait, he was picked 52nd? Alongside Steph Curry having a historic game, it's probably worth highlighting just how far Quinton Post's defense has come. Now sure, he's not Draymond Green, but he doesn't have to be. What he does have is size, and he's learning how to use it. Clogging up driving lanes, getting his hands into passing lanes, grabbing boards, and just being a reliable presence on that end. He's doing enough to hold his own defensively while giving the Warriors serious juice on offense. Take this play, for example. He's tracking Mark Williams to prevent the lob, but once Brandon Miller drives, Post helps off at the perfect moment. And swats the shot. That's smart, reactive defense. Or look at this next clip. He's battling Biyombo to avoid giving up the offensive board. Isaac sneaks in to grab it, but Post doesn't bite on the pump fake. Waits, stays grounded, and times the block. That's discipline. Then there's this one. No size advantage, just awareness. Paolo gets the switch onto Buddy Hield, and the Magic try to pull Post out by running Anthony Black off a screen. But Post? He knows Black isn't a threat from deep, so he sticks with Paolo and helps force a turnover. That's high IQ defense. These are the little things. Reading plays, positioning, knowing when to help. You don't need to be the most athletic guy on the floor if you know how to be in the right spot at the right time. That's the kind of stuff we've seen from Kevin Looney for years. And while Post may not have Looney's agility, he's got 4 inches on him, and that brings its own advantages. Anyway, on that note, I'll give one last shout out to the video I did on the Warriors official channel, a special one in honor of Draymond Green turning 35. Definitely check that out if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and subscribe for more. Plenty more content like this coming soon. Until next time, take care.